Hi, Yat. Can you introduce yourself, please, to our audience?
Sure. Yeah, my name is Yat Siu. I'm chairman and co-founder of Animoca Brands. We're a company that has over 540 investments in the Web3 space, particularly in gaming, also AI, open Metaverse, and of course, various type of technologies. And we're also builders and creators in the space.
So, what do you think about this 2 days AI? First of the Dubai AI week, and second about the event itself.
Well, first of all, I think it's great that Dubai has an AI week. I think it just demonstrates sort of Dubai's sort of perspective on how important AI is for the future of the region and for the world. And in particular for this event, I feel like it's a great melting pot of connecting with different people from around the world, from all over the world. Of course, I'm not just meeting new companies and new people, but also old friends that have come here through the region as well. So that's great. And it's also the interchange of ideas and the sharing of new ideas or things that we should be concerned around. Again, industry roundtables, forums, important discussions are being held here. So glad to be here and very privileged to be here.
Very interesting. Have you been involved in the AI investments lately?
Yeah, so we are a fairly prolific investor in particularly things that are related to blockchain and Web3 in AI and as well as gaming. So I think we have probably done over 40 AI type of investments, ranging from all things that support either creators, developers, or of course for agentic AI, whether it's for investment or for within gaming. And of course, we use this AI in our own products and services. So for instance, with a product called Hey, we're actually doing investment analysis of all of our investments with AI that helps us accelerate that. With portfolio companies like Rosebud, we can do things like vibe coding, basically accelerate your coding development in gaming. And with things like Eddie, we allow basically teachers and students actually to learn with the power of AI.
Perfect. What do you think your vision of how AI is reshaping the digital agenda and the world itself?
I mean, AI is fundamentally changing everything. I mean, in many ways, it's a it's a big question in the sense that everything will be reshaped through AI. And I think there's a lot of debate and conversation. But ultimately, I think the biggest question we need to ask ourselves, especially when AI is going to start representing us, doing actions on our behalf, where is it accountable? Who's responsible for it? Who owns it? And I think one of the biggest challenges we have in AI is not actually how it will impact us. I think we all know how much of an impact it will have on us. It's who gets to govern and decide what that AI does for us. And I think that's why Web3 and blockchain is so important.
Yeah, it's very interesting. You had just had a panel about gaming. What's the outtake of this panel? What do you think the future of gaming?
Yeah, I mean, I think the panel was focused a lot about gaming, particularly in this region. And many of those things that were shared was that this region is obviously a very good growth region for gaming because of the young population, emerging, growing population, and also one that's very gaming savvy. And also there's a lot of capital here to invest in this area, which means that it has great growth potential. When it comes to AI and gaming, obviously, as I had shared earlier, sort of AI is being used in games all the time, really from the beginning anyway. People always talk about how many users are using OpenAI, and that is true. Lots of users are using OpenAI, but actually more people are using AI in games today. It's just not a very smart AI because of cost. But as the cost goes down, you'll see that accelerate significantly. And I think gameplay, game engagement, game creation, game development will all radically change because of AI. What that means is we can expect that game development, for instance, is going to be much more amateurized. Like in the same way that for those of you who might be old enough to remember, you need to be a professional to be a photographer. And now everyone can be a photographer. And because of AI, you no longer need to be a professional to be a game creator. Now everyone can be a game creator, for example.
Yeah, it's an interesting take. And today there's a lot of blockchain and AI. What's the convergence of these two immense technologies?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple things, so many, but I'll sort of highlight a couple ones. One, when you think about AI, it's a digital native. It's something that is born digitally, exists digitally, and will probably die digitally, right? And what is the currency that AI will natively use? It's going to be blockchain-based tokens, right? It's not going to be fiat currency. You're not going to have a PayPal account, or they're going to have a bank account. So it means when AI is talking to each other, they're going to trade and handle essentially with tokens, right, on the blockchain. So that's kind of one thing, which also means that agentic AI then has power. Because that's the other thing. Technology tools pre-AI with tokenization didn't really have power because they didn't have a form of money. And now they have a form of digital money that they can basically either create, develop, or trade with. And as a result, it gives them influence. And we can already see this happening in the space of things like, when you look at airdrops with, different protocols or different sort of gaming projects, what's the difference between a protocol giving you tokens versus an AI giving you tokens? So you can expect in the future that a lot of people will probably be working for an AI because they can pay you in the form of these tokens, which if you think about it, is pretty wild. And then I think the last point I'll put out is that who governs this type of AI? And through tokenizations, you can, through a decentralized autonomous organization like a DAO, you can actually have the control of the AI be governed through the blockchain, through the community. And I think that's the way that we safeguard a future where AI is ultimately going to still serve a human purpose.
My last question is, what's your advice for startups founders?
I mean, where do you start, right? But generally speaking, for AI, for any kind of founder, shall we say, we tell people that you should ideally work on something that is really important for you, as in build something with impact and purpose, because when things are difficult, right, which it will be, I guarantee you, you need to build something that's really important for you, for a purpose greater than your own, and then you will persevere.